Good afternoon, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Facebook Live. So I'm Holly, and I'm excited to be with you today. I have some fun projects to show you, and, well, like cards, sorry. Let me use better terminology. I have some really fun happy mail to show you, and then we are also going to make a fun fold card as well. So welcome as you guys are getting in here. We are just setting up here. And I say we, like there's somebody else here. It's just me, myself, and I. You know, like sometimes I have to have staff meetings with myself, so it's a we. Right? All right, there we go. Hi, Vesta. Hi, Pat. Welcome, you guys. So yeah, I'm going to be opening some happy mail, and then I have a fun fold that I put together, and I'm just going to move this over here. So, using, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm using. I'm going to wait and show you because, it's just fun. So, welcome everybody. Yeah, Patricia says it's 3 people. Me, myself, and I. That is correct. And it's also possible that, Amazon might walk in on this video. So I am waiting for a delivery, and it's coming from Amazon, and they have a tendency to just open that door, even when it's closed. So if somebody walks in behind me, that's probably what it is. But maybe they'll wait till after we're done here. We'll see. So welcome everybody who's coming in. I've got some cards to show you. I've got a stack of happy mail here to catch up on. So we'll do that first, and then we'll jump into a project and some new news. So, oh, I can't get this out of the envelope. Okay, so this first one is from Karen Dixon here in Iowa, and it says, happy birthday. Such beautiful blue ribbon. So, very cute card. Love those layers there and all the bling. Elizabeth Craig from Minnesota. And which way does this go? It goes like this. There we go. So, some cute flowers. Continuing with that blue theme. Look at that. And the flowers are, some of them are popped up. So, give some fun texture to the card. Oh, that's cute. Sorry, I forgot your birthday. I'm a little behind. That's okay. Okay, we've got Corey Meyer from Colorado. And it's always possible that you're not behind. I just might have failed to check my P.O. box for a few days. All right, so here we've got this adorable, hippo, I guess. Very cute. Birthday wishes. That's a super cute card. Susan Higgins from Ohio. Oh, what fun layers. Using that toadstool paper. So this is a celebration item. So it's one of the papers right here that you can get for free with a qualifying order. And it says, happy birthday. I love the way that she has layered those die cuts. That's really beautiful. We've got Laura Jacobs from Washington. And it says, happy birthday. How beautiful is that with that gorgeous paper? Love those layers. Oh, her note just fell out of the inside. And so then it says, wishing you so much joy on this special day. And I love what she stamped on the back. It says, what I make with my hands, I give with my heart. That's a really cool sentiment right there. Jan Drake from Illinois. And it's got those little rosettes on it. See, they kind of pop up. Really fun set to use. Happy birthday. I like that. Sherry Ruprek, we're gonna go with, from Washington. No, not Washington, just kidding, Wisconsin. Testing my ability. to quickly translate states, and notes are falling out. I keep all your notes together so I can go back and read them afterwards, but I like this with that fern embossing in the background. And you've got the raccoon saying happy birthday, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. But I love that. So she has, if you look here, you can see she's embossed the front panel of the card. That's a great way to do it. How about one from Lavar Lashmet in Wisconsin? Happy birthday. What a great way to use up scraps. Look at all those DSP scraps there. And then the background there has the dot embossing and her birthday message inside. Let's see here. I've got Kathy Turner from Oregon. And, oh, what a beautiful card. Look at that quilt block. That's really cute. It says happy birthday. Oh, it opens this way. Sometimes it's hard to like figure out which way to hold things up and open them when I'm like in midair. So thank you, Kathy. All right, and last but not least, we've got one from Pat Settle. And it says sending you a big hug. I love that paper. This is also a celebration paper right here, another 12 by 12 set. And saying thank you right there. And speaking of celebration, today Stampin' Up! Released new items on the celebration list. So they are items from catalog and online exclusives, and I'm actually going to use one of the items that's now a celebration item because for two reasons. Not only can you get this stamp set now on celebration, but it's also one of our featured stamp sets for our make and takes for the Card Play online retreat, which is in 3 days, you guys. So that's very exciting. So the Card Play online retreat is where I partner with 4 other demonstrators, and we offer a weekend of fun. So it is 12, so I'm trying to think, 12 videos? Yes, there's 12 videos. There's 24 PDFs, and you can just watch online, get an online access pass, or you can also get a make and take kit. We still have a few of those left. Literally a few. Like, I think I might have 4 or 5 maybe. They're gonna sell out here in the next day or so. But there's still time to get one of those. And the set that is now on celebration, so you can actually get it free with a qualifying order, is Beautiful Butterflies. So I'm gonna put this camera down so we can make our card. But this set you can now get free with a $60 order. So it's considered a level 1 celebration, which means it's a $60 item. So when you're placing your order to get products, you know, also for the retreat, you can add the stamp set that we're going to be featuring. So it's a photopolymer stamp set here. And then you can also get the additional dies and embossing folder. This is called a, it's the Beautiful Butterflies Hybrid Embossing Folder. And I'm going to show you how the hybrid works on it. But you can see it has a whole bunch of dies, and then it has a 3D embossing folder as well. So we're going to use all of that in our card. And we're going to make this pop-up birthday card. So you might be able to see from the side, it is popping up that inside and drawing out the gift card that's in the pocket. So let's make this card. And I think what we'll do is we will start with our machine work, just so that I can have that kind of out of the way. So we will start with a die cut and some die cut and embossing combo. Let's see, my sandwich here is for die cutting, so I'll do that first. So first I'm going to need a die cut for the sentiment I'm going to be using. And you can see here, I had cut one out for my sample, so now we're just going to take one of these dies here that's on the butterfly set. And I'm just gonna cut another one out here. So this is soft sea foam that I'm cutting out from because it's gonna match the designer series paper that I'm using. Okay, whoops. So that gives me my die cut for the sentiment. And then I'm gonna do the hybrid embossing folder. So we're gonna change our sandwich. I'm gonna take all these extra plates off of here. All we need is our base plate number 1, and then we need this gray plate, which is called plate number 4. So I am going to take my embossing folder, and I also have the outline butterfly die. And when I open my embossing folder, over here on the side that there's a Stampin' Up! Logo and a black line. Make sure, yeah, you should be able to see that in the video. On that side, oops, wrong way. We're going to add our die. Now you'll know you're in the right place when you set it down, and you can kind of wiggle it with your finger and it doesn't really move because it's kind of locked into place, so to speak, around the butterfly. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm going to put a piece of peach pie right over this, and I'm going to close my embossing folder, and I'm actually going to turn it over. I'm going to make sure that my butterfly is centered, mostly just because I'm going to keep the frame and I'll use it for another card. So, okay. Here, we'll just set it this way, that way I can see it. So we always go spine first with our embossing folders. We don't want to break them. Trust me, I've done it. It really does happen. Sometimes you'll get lucky if you put it in the open side first, but I speak from experience in telling you it's a great way to split your embossing folders. Okay, I'm going to set this down. So now we have our butterfly, which is both die cut and embossed. And then we have this beautiful frame, and so this is going to become the front of another card. So I'm going to save this for another card. But look at how beautiful that is. It is embossed and die cut with just one simple move. So that's kind of the nice thing about these hybrid embossing folders. And when you purchase a hybrid embossing folder, it comes with both the dies and the embossing folder. So it's not like two separate things. All of this that you see in my hands comes in one pack. So just want you to be aware of that. And then one little thing, because I know somebody might ask, sometimes I transfer my dies to a magnet sheet, but sometimes I don't. And I don't have a rhyme or reason for it, but when I don't transfer them, I use a pen and I trace around each die. Because if I pull off multiple dies from my sheet, trying to figure out how to fit them back onto the sheet can really be a pain. But also, more importantly, it lets me know that I'm missing a die. So I know that this is where my die goes back to. So just a little tip for keeping track of your dies. All of these have been outlined with a pen so that I know if I'm missing a die. So how this comes is you've got your 2 sheets of dies. And then the embossing folder has a package, and then all of this together comes in the embossing folder product. So anytime you see hybrid embossing folder, just know that it means you're getting both folder and dies. Okay, so we've got our die cuts. We'll leave those aside. And we will grab our pieces. So I am working with Blueberry Bushel. I've got the, I think it's Wildflower Celebrations, I think is what this paper is called. And then I've got a piece of basic white. So we'll start with our cardstock. So my card base measures 4 1/4 by 11. So 4 1/4 by 11. And then, oh, somebody's asking about the online exclusives. So when you're on the Stampin' Up! Site, you can just go to menu and products and you can sort by online exclusives. So just know that that's one way to find those. So we've got 4 1/4 by 11, and here's my cheat sheet. I gotta remember where to score this. Actually, hold that thought. I'm gonna use my scoreboard for this one, just because it's easier. Okay, so my 4 1/4 by 11, I'm gonna score at 2 inches. Let me move this out of the way. So we're gonna score at 2 and 7 1/2. Okay, 2 and 7 1/2. And then my other piece of blueberry bushel is 3 1/2 by 7. So it's 3 1/2 by 7 inches. And I'm gonna score it at 1/2 inch. Make sure it's all the way in the corner. 1/2 inch and 5 inches. So 1/2 and 5. Okay, so that's our cardstock. And then we'll do a little bit of paper cutting here. So since the white's on top, we'll just start from top to bottom. So I need a piece of basic white that measures 3 by 3 1/2. 3 by 3 1/2. Yes, and once you find something, just click add to cart. That's funny, Jean. 3 by 3 1/2 for our white. For our flower designer series paper, this goes on the top flap. This one's going to be 3 3/4 by, I'm sorry, 3 1/4 by 4. 3 1/4 by 4. Okay. And then our soft sea foam piece is going to be 1 3/4 by 4. And that's for the bottom flap. Okay. So let's start working on our card. So we'll take our long card base here, and we're going to fold our 2 flaps. And I'm just going to crease them down so we got a nice smooth card to work with. And our smaller flap is on the bottom of our card. So I'm going to start down here on the smaller flap. Now you got 2 choices. You really don't want to use standard adhesive here. So you're going to want to use something stronger, because every time they open this top flap, that gift card holder or money holder, or even just a fun note, you don't even have to use it as a gift card holder, but that pop-up middle is going to be sliding back and forth. So you really need a stronger adhesive than just your basic tape runner. So I'm going to use tear and tape. If you choose to use glue, just make sure that it doesn't squish outside of where you want it. So we just want a tiny bit of adhesive on each edge. So I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can get it. And then come back over here. And just going to go nice and close to the edge of my paper. Like that, and I just burnish it down with my finger because that makes it easier to grab the white covers. And we'll just put that down, and now we can stick our soft sea foam designer series paper right on that flap. There we go. And then on our top flap goes the other piece of designer series paper. And it's not directional, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But it has this beautiful gold foiling in it, which I'll tie in the embellishments with that later. Okay, so for our smaller piece of blueberry bushel, we have 2 score lines. One was at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to fold that down under. Okay, so that one's going to go down under. And then the bottom score line is going to fold up. So they fold opposite directions. Okay, the 1/2 inch is back behind. This one is in the front. And that'll matter when we go to put the middle slider together. Okay? But before we do that, we're going to finish up some things on this piece. So I'm going to start with, I need a circle punch. Or you could use a die if you don't have a punch. And I just want to create a little thumb hole to make it easier to pull out if you're doing a gift card or money. It makes it easier to pull out if we add a little kind of thumb hole. So I'm just putting my paper a little bit into my punch and popping it out so that now I have that little slit right there. Okay. So I used, this is the 1.5 inch circle punch, but you know, just about any size would work for you. Okay, so I need to pause for a moment and I need to do some stamping. So we're gonna have, let's see, yes. So my white paper goes this way. And I have here, I'm gonna need blueberry bushel ink. And I'm gonna do peach pie. And I'm gonna be brave or dumb, depending on your viewpoint, but I'm gonna have 2 different ink colors open here next to me. And I really shouldn't have them on my right. So let's move those over here so I don't put my hand in those. Okay, we're gonna start with Happy Birthday. This would also be a great design for like a teacher gift or a graduation gift, Valentine's Day gift, anytime you want gift, or even just a note, because like I said, you don't have to put money or gift card for this to be a fun option. Okay, so I've done my happy birthday, and then on my white insert, I'm going to first do a butterfly. So we're going to do that in peach pie. Put that here on the corner. And then I've got time to celebrate. And look at that. I managed to put the right stamps on the right ink pads. Some of you who have been around for a while might remember the time I had Daffodil Delight and Night of Navy open right here. And I picked up my stamp, which already had some Night of Navy ink on it from having made my sample. And with that lovely Night of Navy ink, I stamped right down onto my Daffodil Delight ink pad. And it was like a large flower. And so on my pretty yellow ink pad, I had this giant navy flower in the middle of it. That was a little flustering on a Facebook Live. Okay, we've got our 2 stamped pieces here. So I'm going to come back here to my insert. Now remember, our little flap is going to fold underneath. This one folds up. But let's put this basic white insert in here. Oh, I know, Vesta, it was not fun. I mean, it's not the end of the world, like, it's fixable, but to this day, you can still see the remnants of that flower. I managed to get, you know, the majority of it. There's no more navy in there, but it's still got a stain. Okay, we've got our piece. Now, I am not adhering this flap, okay? And you'll see why once I put the card together, but I'm not adhering this one, and it's not necessary. Okay, so we've got our 2 pieces now. Now we have to put them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this into my pocket, and I'm going to slide it down until the top of my card is just below this score line. Okay, just below the score line. Kind of right at the score line, but we don't want it to be on the score line because then your card will be a little bit lumpy. So I'm just gonna line that up. So I've got it centered left and right, and I've got it right here below the score line, okay? And I'm gonna grab my tear and tape, and I'm gonna put a piece of tear and tape on that little 1/2 inch flap, okay? So this makes it super simple to put this card design together, because all you have to do is close your card. So I'm just gonna burnish that on here. And just like that, we have our slider card, okay? So by putting it down in this pocket first, you ensure that your slide is happening in the right spot. And by lining it up at the score line, you'll know that your card is gonna fold flat and you can still mail this. So, because it's really just 2 pieces of cardstock together, so it's not a thick card. So, got my slider right there. All right, so on the front of my card, in order to put this butterfly in the right spot, I'm gonna turn my butterfly over, upside down, and I'm gonna lay it where I want it, which is right about here. Here we go. Because this will allow me to dimensionalize it in the right spot and ensure that my dimensionals are not gonna peek out where I don't want them to be. So I've got my butterfly is now dimensionalized, and I can now take these covers off, and when I turn it over and stick it down right where I was planning, I can safely say that I know my dimensionals are not peeking out right here, okay? And then we need our happy birthday, and I'm gonna I gotta dimensionalize that as well. Let me got a few partial sheets of dimensionals happening right now. We're just gonna stick 2 dimensionals in the middle so that I can put my tag right across the butterfly. And then I realized that with the gold foil in here, what would look really nice with this card are the brushed brass butterflies. Let's see. Oh, I don't have the full name on there. And this is all I have left. I really need to order some more. But the brushed brass butterflies have that gold sheen to them. So they tie in really well with all the gold foiling up here. So then I'll take a small one and I'll stick it up here. And so just like that, we have our slider card. Now let me bring back my sample, because you remember I said in the middle, I did not adhere this panel. And that's because you'll find that the gift card, most standard gift cards here in the US are kind of debit credit card size. So I just slide it in there and it makes it nice and easy to get back out. And so then we can just fold our card closed, which is hard to do in midair. Uh-oh. My slider got a little off center. There we go. So now we have that card in here. And what's fun about this is you could actually go get your gift card first, and then you could tie in your color scheme to match the gift card that you're doing. Now, I just picked a random gift card that was sitting around. And so well, actually it does match a little bit, but this is actually a thank you gift card. But, you know, it works. Whether you're putting in, you know, a store card, like a Starbucks card or a Visa gift card, you know, you can always match your color combination as well to it. So a lot of fun options for this. You could also put like a bookmark in there, a bag of tea. It doesn't have to be something that, you know, costs money or is, you know, expensive. There's a lot of little fun things you could stick. You could put some stickers in there, you know, that a kid might like. So a lot of fun things we can just slip into that little slider pocket and have a fun little card. So anyways, I wanted to show you that because again, this is on Celebration now, that you can get this free on a $60 order. And it's also one of our main stamp sets for the card play retreat this weekend. So yeah, I think that was all. Trying to make sure I said what I needed to. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee and a Card today, and I hope you are having a great day. Be sure to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.